So we know that the crew members aboard that Japanese Coast Guard plane tragically died in this collision, but that the 379 passengers, including 8 children and the crew on board the commercial plane, were successfully evacuated. Tell us how they pulled that off without further tragedy.
Yeah, Jeff, it is extraordinary, and there's a lot of factors that come into play here. There's a certain amount that is a technological story. Some of it is crew training and execution. And ultimately, it was the passengers themselves who took it upon themselves to act in a way that would save themselves. Talking about the technology first, the aviation industry has spent decades trying to make airplane interiors less flammable, the upholstery and the inner walls, et cetera. That bought time. The crew, the flight cabin crew in particular, obviously did their job well. They're not really there to serve us drinks and snacks. They're there to get us out, in this instance, a survivable crash. They did that. And ultimately, the passengers, they weren't pulling down their carry-on bags. They just did what they were told. They turned around and they got out of that plane, and they did it in under 90 seconds. And it proved what a lot of us were not so sure might happen in the real world, that it can happen, that a plane with upwards of 400 people on it in flames can yield an accident where no one gets hurt. It's extraordinary.
I want to ask you more about the technology. Tell us more about the design and the manufacturing of this aircraft, the Airbus A350. How exactly did it buy them time? Because we saw how the cabin was engulfed in smoke, and then after the passengers made it off, that was when the plane was just enveloped by flames.
Yeah, there were years ago, there were a series of accidents, Jeff, that would have been otherwise survivable were it not for the fact that there was not much attention paid to the flammability of the interior. The FAA and other entities spent a lot of time testing for alternatives. The airline industry responded, regulations changed, and that is a significant piece of this story. It really is a matter of just providing a little bit of time, and that's all they needed. The fact that in 90 seconds, upwards of 400 people could get out seems like it wouldn't work, but it did.